at the WWE 2016 Hall of Fame tonight. Sting retires from wrestling. Would somebody put away the damn onions? Well, after a few beers and a half a box of Swiss rolls and a half a box of peanut butter, what the hell are these? Peanut butter wafers. These are, oh, God, I love these damn things. And after all that, I somehow got through this wonderfully emotional WWE Hall of Fame. By the way, don't mix beer and chocolate. It gives you the farts. Something terrible. Just saying. So yeah, I'm just gonna run down this. I'm not gonna spend too long on this because it's like after 2 in the morning here, and I'm freaking tired. It took me forever to get through this because you pause, you get up, go take a break, bathroom break, get a snack, whatever. Did that a couple times. Other stuff, whatever. And the just a funny note, and I gotta do this just to get me into this because I've got a friggin' lump the size of a baseball in my throat right now. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't really care about the red carpet, but I didn't watch this live. Okay, I watched it all late. Everyone else was, all my podcast buddies are commenting and everything about all this stuff, what they're seeing, and all this, and I'm just like, and I don't know why I was watching it so late. But anyways, friggin', they're talking to this guy, that guy, this group, that group. And then Dean Ambrose comes out. Oh my God. He was like Ric Flair plowed, I think. Seriously, it was beautiful. I love Dean, and I just laughed so hard. I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" He's standing there with Renee Young, and Renee Young just like, "That's my Dean," which is funny because I think they're still together. I don't really care. It's just a funny little side thing there. So you go down the list here. The Godfather, that was entertaining. Came out with his hose. JBL and Ron came out, inducted him, and they're going to get into all these stories, and they kept stopping each other from telling the stories. That was rich. Maybe they'll come out with an uncensored version someday, and they'll tell some Hall of Fame Rhodes stories. It's a separate thing someday. That'd be great. So yeah, congrats to the Godfather. And when I got back into wrestling, I was late coming to the whole Attitude Era thing, and I didn't watch WWE much at all. So this is all. Some of it is all a re-education for me, appreciating the who's who and what's what of, certain eras. Stan Hansen, that was interesting. Don't know a lot about him, so, I'm not degrading any of the guys that I really wasn't into as far as the ceremony. I'm just, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. But I know, guys like JBL always mention Stan the Man Hansen, Jacqueline came out, a revered, and I hate it when they use that word diva. I hope to God this is the last Hall of Fame that they use that stupid term. Oh, she's one of the original divas. No, damn it, she was a woman's wrestler. Just say what she was, you know? They didn't call themselves divas back then. At least I never heard it. That was stupid. But it was cool to have the Dudleys, you know, come out and say she was one of the guys, you know. That was cool. So hats off to her. Freebirds, oh, man, that was emotional. That was a lot of fun, though, you know. And yeah, they were out there a while. They were out there, I think, over a half hour. But, you know, it's entertaining, you know. This is their night, you know. It's not it's not like Mr. T last year went on for a half an hour or 20 minutes or whatever about his mama. Excuse me, sorry. But yeah, that last story that they told about getting out of the bar and the guy was shooting at him. And chuckling. Why are you chuckling? Why are you laughing? Because he missed. Oh, that was rich. That was good. Man, Freebirds. And it was cool that Kevin Von Erich came out. And I'm not even going to get into the whole little New Day flub he did on stage. I'm not going to... Oh, everyone's like, oh, he said this. Whatever. He's old and he's nervous. Doesn't matter. It's stupid. Big Boss Man. That was emotional too. You know, his daughters and his wife out there, talking about how much they missed him and everything, and that was kind of hard to watch. It was nice though. And then you had John Cena come out. Oh my God, and he just ate that up. And then he said something like off camera, like off to the side. I don't know who he was talking to. It looked like he was looking at Stone Cold. A lot of guys talk to Stone Cold. He talked to Stone Cold, I think, tonight. Ric Flair said a few things to Stone Cold. Stone Cold was a popular guy tonight on stage. Or off stage, you know. Guys talking to him off stage. John Cena inducted Snoop Dogg, which was weird, you know, but then really, you know, does it really matter who enters the celebrity wing guy? You know, I don't know, it's another rapper. You know, I think most people would have said Sasha should have, because she's related to him, but whatever. It is what it is. Snoop's speech was actually impressive, you know. Humorous at times, but impressive. You know, especially, you know, talking about the Mile High thing, you know. A Mile High Club or whatever. Funny. And then Joe London. That was, oh my God. The Warrior Award. And Dana coming out. Jeez Louise. Man, that was hard to watch because that was a huge loss, you know. Warrior passed away. And then Joan London talking about her, you know, fighting cancer and everything, and it just piggybacks on what me and my podcast guys were doing a few days, you know, this past few days, trying to raise money for Alex's Lemon Stand for pediatric cancer, or Alex's Lemonade Stand, excuse me, for fighting pediatric cancer. Last number I heard, we raised $1,200. Unbelievable. That's just blows us away, That's a lot of love right there. It is. So that triggered reflections on this whole weekend, thinking about that. So yeah, Joan London, that was, and I heard some people online complaining about, oh, that's not what the Warrior Award is for. Okay, does it really matter? I mean, I think the fact that, it was first given to Connor, the kid last year, fighting cancer, and then he passed away. And now given to Joan London because she fought cancer. Does that mean it's always going to go to a cancer patient? I don't know, but does it matter? Someone's fighting a fight, They're honoring someone. It's not a negative thing, for crying out loud, Then they had before I get into this thing, I want to mention the Legacy Award, which I was like, I'm like, wait, didn't they do this already with Shane coming out and, and Stephanie McMahon? No, this is different. But led into the whole, WrestleMania. Vince versus Shane thing. No, this was recognizing some of the very, very first professional wrestlers that really kicked off the business. You could say 100 years ago ish, give or take, whatever. Guys like Gotch, Lou Thez. I don't know the whole list. They recognized about 10 guys and a couple of girls, I think. Which is nice. They should do stuff like that, I don't know if any of those were actually in the Hall of Fame before. I think they were. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, now they are, So that's nice. Sting, the headliner. Yeah, I know. Ric Flair. Gotta love Ric Flair. No, I don't gotta love Ric Flair. I hate Ric Flair. He's the turd that won't go away, and he talked about himself. Yeah, okay. Ric Flair's drunk. No, he's not drunk. They wouldn't let him out there if he was, because of what he's done before. He's clean. At least I hope to God he's clean now. He's getting older. He's emotional. This is emotional stuff. Hell, look at me. I'm a mess. Jeez Louise. He's reflecting on his career, for crying out loud. He and Sting had some of the greatest rivalries in pro wrestling history. When he was blonde and had the high top fade in the NWA, then went on to do the Crow thing. He even mentioned, he didn't say TNA, but he mentioned the Joker, and I was like, oh, he got it in there. Bet you Vince loved that one. That, or, someone say, oh, see now, Vince probably was that Joker. What Joker? He was never Joker. Yeah, he was. And that's funny. It's like, there's Sting playing the, hey, you ain't gonna stop me tonight, Man. So Sting retires. Says farewell to the WWE universe. And what did he say? He He said it's, he said, this isn't goodbye, this is see you later. And he puts on the shades and he has the baseball bat. And, you know, and that's how he ended it. It's sad, but, man, you know, it's like, yeah, would it have been nice to see Taker versus Sting? Yeah, hell yeah, that's the dream match. That's the dream match, of course. But you know, who else can say they've had a career like Sting, for crying out loud? Not too many people. Not too many people. You know, so does that mean that he's not even... Well, of course, he's going to be at WrestleMania tomorrow night. We all know he's going to be there because they bring out all the inductees. We know this. Everybody's saying some kind of shenanigans are going to go down at like the main event, depending on what the main event is. But let's just say Taker and Shane are the main event, okay? And someone's going to come out and help someone. Say someone comes out and helps Taker. Someone that comes out and helps Shane against Taker. You could probably bet your bottom dollar that Vince is going to come out there. He's going to get involved somehow. That crazy old bastard. Some people are saying Goldberg's going to come out. And if Goldberg doesn't come out, why not have Sting come out? Give Taker a few whacks. He's not wrestling. He's just going to come out, interfere, tell him to sell, no disqualification. I'm sure he can come out there and do something. You know, would they clear him for that? You know, guaranteeing that he wouldn't take any bumps. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing that. It'd be, oh my God, Sting and Taker in the same ring. You know, you're going to hear that. That'd be unbelievable. So, yeah, it'd be cool, but, you know, I'm sure some people out there are saying right now, well, okay, if this is not goodbye, it's just see you later. Does that mean he'll maybe become GM? You know, say Shane wins, takes over Raw, but he can't stick around. And he has to put someone in his place to take over Raw. Sting. There's an idea. So, yeah, who knows? I don't want to drag this out all night. I'm tired. A few different things that could happen. So he's done wrestling. It sucks, but he's had a tremendous career. Nothing to be ashamed of. The only thing I think he might be kicking himself, and, you know, Ric Flair touched on it in his induction speech, is why didn't he come sooner? You know? But, hey, there's nothing you can do about it now. You know, he had 2 tremendous matches. One against Triple H at WrestleMania. He had his WrestleMania moment. You can't knock that. You know, that how many guys can say they had a headlining match at WrestleMania? And I know exactly what you're saying. He didn't headline WrestleMania. Bullshit. If you're at WrestleMania, you're headlining. Period. Okay? That's you can call that whole show a headliner. All right, so that's what I think. So whatever. So yeah, we'll between 12 to 24 hours from now, we're going to find out what the future of the WWE is. It's all going to be laid out. And, and Monday Night Raw should be just as interesting. You know they're not going to, blow the whole thing in one night at WrestleMania. They're going to save some for Monday night. Because that's what they do. That's what you got to do. So, WrestleMania is going to be a blast. This Hall of Fame, glad I watched it. And I haven't seen a lot of them, so it's another reason to go check out the network. Go look at some of those old Hall of Fame speeches from some of these guys who have, tipped their hats to the fans. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching.